Hello, hello. Welcome to day 3 of the human design training. My name is Sonia and I am a coach and a human design expert. And I discovered human design a few years ago, and it has helped me so much in accepting myself, in really starting to listen to my intuitive guidance, and in really creating this life that I'm living right now. That is, the most joyful, I'm the most joyful than I've ever been before. So that's why I'm so passionate about helping other people discover their design, step into their authenticity, and create joyful lives and careers for themselves. I'm just gonna make sure I can see the comments on my computer. Okay, I'm able to see this. Hi Ashley, hi Marion, good to see you. Yes, I'm sporting my tiara recently, just reminding myself that I am a queen and a goddess. So let me just adjust this. So human design has changed my life, and now I'm really passionate about helping other people, release judgment of themselves, but not only that, but really stepping into their purpose and power and owning their gifts and their talents and really discovering their superpowers. So thank you, Ashley. Okay, so today we will talk about profile, and the profile is an interesting part of human design. It's kind of the third thing to learn after you know about your energy type, which we talked about the first day, so you can watch the replay that's available till February 14th on those. And then after mastering your energy type, then your authority, so how to make decisions for yourself, which was day 2, and day 3 is profile. So it's kind of like the archetypes you have and how you best learn and how you best interact with other people, and we'll talk about what that all means. So it also can tell you about your karma, whether you're here more for yourself or whether you're here to focus on helping others. So if you don't have your human design chart, you can go to mybodygraph.com and enter your date, time, and place of birth, and you can look up all your info. And if you have trouble, you can always message me, and feel free to ask questions throughout the training, or if you're watching the replay, and I'll try to address them. So now we'll move on to our profile. So, and if you know your profile, actually, you can enter it in the comments. I know, Ashley, you know, because I know your profile. So your profile is 2 numbers. So I'm, for example, a 3-5, which I'll talk a bit about later. Yes, Ashley's a 1-3. So if the first number is smaller, like for me, a 3-5, that means you have personal karma, which means you're kind of here to be more the center of your own attention, to kind of find your self-worth through, focusing on yourself, doing things for yourself, meditating, whatever you like to do. It also means that you might not be able to see yourself very clearly. So that's a good thing to know, because you might want to, I'm a 3-5, and often I don't know how I'm being perceived by other people. So it's often good to get feedback on, obviously from people who you know and trust, and that have good intentions. So that's, if the first number is smaller, you're meant to focus more on yourself, and that doesn't mean that you won't help people. It just means you'll do that through focusing on yourself. And I know, like in the past, I've had a lot of judgment about being selfish, and even past people in the past saying I'm selfish, but that is really my karma and the theme of my life. I'm meant to be more selfish. So So that released a lot of judgment in itself. And it was funny because most of that judgment was coming from people who have the first number bigger, which means they have transpersonal karma, which means they find their worth through doing stuff for others. And they will also have an easier time, seeing themselves clearly. So that's what human design is all about, releasing judgment of yourself, of other people, because we all operate so differently, and that is the key message of human design. So also there's one profile, which is the 4-1, which you don't really have any heavier karma. So you are here to, if you're a 4-1, which is really rare actually, so there won't be that many people, you're here to kind of live a bonus life and, just enjoy. And, so there are 12 profiles, so I won't go through each profile because that would take a long time, but I will go through all the numbers, and you can kind of put them together and, figure out the archetypes you have. And also, when you put the two numbers together, there are some additional qualities that, obviously I go into when I do a reading for someone, but with, knowing your two numbers, you can get pretty close. So also another thing I want to mention before we jump into the 1 through 6 numbers, there are 6 numbers. So the first number in your profile is how you see yourself. So for me, I see myself as a 3. For Ashley, that would be a 1. It's kind of who you know you are. And the second number is kind of more how others see you, and maybe some of the qualities that you might not be aware of, especially if your first number is smaller and you don't see yourself as clearly. So yes, so now we'll go through through all the numbers and what they mean. So the one is the investigator or the teacher. And the 1 is all about learning through understanding, getting to the bottom of things, wanting to know the full scope of information. They love looking things up. They love Googling things, which, that's what, a lot of ones love to do. And I don't necessarily, I'm a 3 on the inside, so I'll talk about what that means. But Rebecca's here, she's a 5-1. So she, so it's all about looking things up. And it's funny because she'll always look things up and I won't. She's like, why don't you ever look things up? I'm like, I don't know, I learned through trial and error, which we'll talk about. So the 1 feels best when they're well prepared, feels secure when armed with knowledge and facts, and is driven to know all the things they need to know to kind of navigate the world. So that's the energy of the 1, the investigator, the teacher, who really wants to learn. But it's more like learning through getting to the bottom of things. So now we'll move on to the 2, the second line. And so the first name that I mentioned, the investigator, that's kind of the old human design language. For the 1, the investigator, and the teacher is kind of what, the more modern interpretation according to my teacher, Jenna Zoe. So now moving on to the 2, the old human design language calls them the hermit. The new human design language calls them the guru. So the second, the 2 is naturally gifted at something. So, they just have this inherent knowledge, inherent kind of genius, and they can't explain their gifts. But they're the hermit because they like to their gifts develop when they're self-absorbed and kind of playing, and it's really important for them to have that time for that internal process. So that's the 2, the naturally gifted, the hermit guru. And then we move on to the 3, which I'm a 3-5, so I'm a 3 on the inside. So the 3 is the martyr. which is not a great name in the old language. And then the new language is kind of like the priest. So, which I'm not sure why Jenna came up with that one, but it's more, the 3 energy is all about learning through experience, learning through trial and error. You know, the 3 is naturally not afraid of failure, naturally likable, you know. However, they do need to be kind of encouraged to try things because, you know, life is kind of a roller coaster for them. So for the 3, it's really important when you're the priestess, yes. Yeah, so for the 3, especially for children, it's important for the parents not to, you know, when the child makes a mistake or, you know, does something that's not, you know, right according to the parents, it's important to focus on the lesson instead of kind of, you know, being like, oh, well, you made a mistake and that makes you bad, or, you know, you shouldn't have done that, but always focusing on the learning for the 3, because, you know, the 3 doesn't learn from books. It learns through experiencing life and bumping up against life too. You know, there's a lot of like, you know, quote unquote failure, but it's all useful for the 3. So that's a little bit about the 3. And the 4th line is the opportunist, which also the languaging is just kind of funny. And in the new language, the prophet. So the 4 has a natural gift for forming close relationships. So opportunities for the 4 come through people that they know, really through their network. They're really good networkers, and the quality of the life of the 4 is determined by the quality of their relationships. So obviously it depends on whether you have the 4 on the inside, kind of, you know that you're a 4, or if people see you more as a 4. So that's the 4. It's all about relationships, close relationships. So the 5, the next line, is the heretic. And in the new language, it's the messenger. So the 5th line has a lot of like save the day energy. The 5th line like wants to rescue people. It's you know, it's the person who has the solutions. You know, it's someone who loves everyone as well. They can interact with anyone, interact well with new people, you know. But yeah, basically it's the save the day person. That's the energy of the 5. And then the 6th line, which is the last one, is the role model or the Buddha. So the 6 actually has like 3 different periods in their life. So the first cycle is, you know, from when they are born till their Saturn return. So around, hi, sorry, I think my Wi-Fi went out. It's, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know if it's the rain, it's rainy today in Miami, or the Wi-Fi. Hopefully you can hear me now. Let me know if it's better now. So I was talking about the 6. Okay, good, Ashley, thank you. So the 6, the first 30 years of their life, they're living as a 3. So again, that trial and error, you know, bumping into life, learning through experience. So that's the first 30 years of the life of a 6. And then the second cycle, until their Chiron return, is about kind of taking everything that they've learned through their trial and error process and formulating it into something, into their specific wisdom. And then the last 3rd cycle of their life is about achieving harmony and mastery and really sharing that wisdom and becoming that role model or the Buddha. And the 6 is often also focused on finding their soulmate. So so that's a little bit about each of the numbers. So when, as I said, when they come together, they kind of express additional qualities, but it would take too long to discuss all the profiles. So, but yeah, more or less, you should be able to figure that out from the ones I discussed. So I'll also use myself as an example to kind of show you how it's these additional qualities that come into play. It's like 1 + 1 = 3 instead of 2 when you put them together. So I'm a 3/5. So I'm a 3 on the inside, you know, learning through trial and error. But according to human design, people see me as the 5, so kind of having the solution and kind of having that save the day energy. And you know, it's like on the inside, my life appears like such a roller coaster, or like it feels to me like a roller coaster. And on the outside, I seem to have it more or less together. So when the 3 and 5 come together, they form the martyr heretic, or in the new language, the great life experimenter. So it's kind of the most likable profile. I don't know if I like to, well, I'm gonna own that. The most likable, the most relatable, like the most magnetic. Oh, thank you. So like, yeah, on the inside, it's like, oh my God, is this ever gonna end? Like, life just feels kind of out of control. But the 3/5 like needs to realize that they'll never really have control, and that their lives are interesting to other people, and other people can live vicariously through you. So the 3/5 is meant to embrace the messiness of life, you know, share what works, but also especially what doesn't work. And you know, we're catalysts for change because we take people along for the ride and share while we're going through something. So, and that's not always easy to do, but because we like to, you know, for me at least, I love to share when I have it all wrapped up in a bow and it's all pretty and figured out, and then I can share. But really for the 3/5, it's like you need to share while you're going through the shit. So yeah, yeah, so it's okay to you know, I'm meant to draw attention to the more messy parts of life and not having to always appear perfect. And that's a struggle in this world that, you know, kind of expects you to be perfect all the time, or that's what like the persona we like to show. Yeah, it's very challenging to share in the moment, definitely. So the 3/5, there's also, even though they're likable and relatable, they're also kind of like F you, I don't need you kind of attitude, which I do recognize in myself. And we're kind of like not really meant for lifelong friendships, and I used to really feel bad about that because, you know, I would meet new people each stage in my life, and I wouldn't relate to people, you know, I knew in high school or even before. So, you know, we love everybody, like strangers and lovers alike. But our message is kind of impersonal. So often, like, our opportunities don't necessarily come from our inner circle, which I'm still, you know, working on myself as well, embodying that. And yeah, and we do, as a 3/5, you do need a lot of encouragement from others because life just feels kind of so unpredictable. So, and you don't, you know, as a 3/5, you don't need to be doing what everyone else is doing, and kind of, it's not like this is what you do in life, and you know, you find a job, you whatever, get married, settle down, like, we don't need to be, you know, kind of living the conventional life. So that's a little bit, I mean, and each profile will like give all of us some wisdom. That's what I talked about on the first day. Like, we can learn from each of the energy types, and even from each of the authorities that we talked about yesterday. So they all have special wisdom to share with us, and it just shows, like, you know, how we're all meant to operate so differently, and that's okay. So that is the main message. So yeah, there are, you know, I shared about the energy types, the authorities, and the profiles, but there are so many other things that human design can tell you. You know, whether you benefit from having a routine and being consistent, whether you need to be specific when manifesting, you know, what your karma or theme is. There's an additional thing called the incarnation cross that kind of tells you about the purpose of your life. And, you know, for me, it's to kind of provoke with consciousness and provoke talent, leadership, purpose, and spirit in others, which is why I'm like, oh, now it makes sense why I'm doing what I'm doing. So you can also learn about what you're meant to eat for your energy type. The manifesting stuff is still confusing to me. So the manifesting part, it's like, how specific do you need to be? So for example, I'm non-specific, so I'm meant to be more general about what I want to manifest. So it's more about like having an open palm rather than like, so the non-specific is about having an open palm and letting the universe kind of give you what is for the highest good, instead of like specific manifesting, which is kind of more like about grabbing the thing you want. So non-specific manifesting, I always say that it's good to focus on how you want to feel and the next aligned action. So you don't need to have a 5-year plan or all the steps figured out. It's just, how do you want it to feel, and what's the next aligned step to get you closer to that. For specific manifestors, they can be as specific as feels good. I mean, all of us can be as specific as feels good, but we don't want to like force specifics when they're not needed. And for specific manifestors, I mean, that's also like, you know, they want to make sure that those desires, you know, they can make a list or a vision board, but they have to make sure that those desires are coming from like true soul desires and not like shoulds, you know, what they should want. So that's a little bit, focusing for non-specific, focusing on the feeling. But we're all kind of told that we need to be specific, and that's the old world way of manifesting, is that you need to be consistent, you need to be disciplined, you need to be specific, and you need to focus on one thing at a time. That's like the old world way. And but the new world way of manifesting, and a new kind of era in human design, is coming in 2027. It will be, you know, you can be inconsistent, you don't have to be disciplined, you can be non-specific, and you can focus on a bunch of different things. So I know that I've had a lot of pressure to be specific, and I'm a non-specific manifester, so, you know, it's like, people are like, well, how are you gonna like get what you want if you don't know what you want? I'm like, well, I know, like, I want, you know, you can be more general. It's like, I want to be, you know, fulfilled, financially stable, and if you can feel secure in that more general space, then you will manifest accordingly. And it's, you know, the universe might give you something even better than, you know, you could have specifically imagined. And and that's like the wisdom of the authority too, how you make decisions. It's, you know, your mind can only conceive of so much. It's really about like letting the wisdom of the body guide you. So some other things, and thank you, Ashley, for the question. Some other things that human design can tell you, like how to eat for your energy type. You know, for me as a manifesting generator, I have to be excited about what I'm eating. It's a sensual experience. And, you know, and as a manifesting generator, we have the biggest engines, so we're not meant to limit our portions. And, you know, and it's about about that desire, what you really want to eat, not what the right thing is or the healthy is. You know, and I know when I force myself to eat something because it's healthy, it doesn't really provide a satisfying experience. And remembering that manifesting generators, which are 70% of the population, you know, their signature is satisfaction. So you're meant to be feeling that satisfaction in the moment. So some other things that human design can tell you. Ashley's excited about eggs. You know, I go through phases too as a manifesting generator. Like, I'll be really into one thing and then I won't want to eat it for a while. So a human design can also tell you about your dominant sense. Like, mine is smell. It kind of also offers you another layer of intuition, which I talked about yesterday. And it can tell you about your digestion. So mine is high sound, so I'm meant to be listening to things while I'm eating, because that stimulates my digestion. And there are different, obviously digestion profiles. And then I know Ashley's is inner vision, her dominant sense. Is it? Yeah, inner vision, I think. Anyways, and also it can tell you about the environment you thrive in. Mine is caves, so I love to be in my home, in my room, kind of where I feel safe and cozy, and kind of, so what else? Then it can tell you about your main gifts and talents. So that's in like the gates and channels specifically. So my most important gift is provoking with consciousness. So kind of saying something that makes people heal and change and waking people up, like in a high consciousness way. And I have another channel that's all about helping other people make more money, and myself as well. So this is why I want to talk a little bit about Abundance with Ease, which is my kind of signature 3-month private coaching program. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But and I created this program because I saw that, human design teaches us that we are all designed perfectly, and the world needs us to be living in alignment with our design and in our authenticity. And so whatever your dream is, that is your purpose, and no one can do it exactly like you. So maybe there are people who have been doing something similar for longer, but you bring that unique energy and your unique design, and people will resonate specifically with you when you are living according to your design, to your energy type, to your authority, and all the other parts of your design. But remembering the energy type and the authority are the top two that are most important to master. So your voice matters, and you need to put your work out there in a unique way that works for your design, and make it easy for people to find you, find what you have to offer. So if you are ready to, sorry, I think it might be the rain. If it's loud, hopefully you can still hear me. I think it's the rain outside. Like, let me see if I can. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let me see. I don't know if I can fix it now. Maybe I can bring it closer. Okay, we're just gonna go with it. It's okay. Okay, good. Thank you for confirming that you can still hear me. So if you are ready for the world to experience what you're passionate about, I'll try to maybe come closer and speak kind of louder. So if you're ready for the world to experience what you're passionate about, I want to invite you into Abundance with Ease, which is my 3-month private coaching program. And in this program, I support you in creating a career, a business, and ultimately a life that is aligned with your purpose and your gifts. So, together we discover what is unique about you, and it stopped. Maybe it was the AC or something. what is unique about you, how to articulate it so that you can become visible to the people that need what you have to offer, and so that you can start making more money with more ease. So together we work through your mindset and beliefs about abundance, and I support you every step of the way. So if you sign up for Abundance with Ease before February 14th, which is also when you have access to the replays of this training till February 14th. So if you sign up for Abundance with Ease before then, you receive an extra month of coaching. So the program becomes 4 months instead of 3. And a little bit about what's included in the program. So obviously we start with a human design reading because I include it in all my coaching, and that's the first step. And you get the recording and report to help you, really use your energy correctly, live according to your energy type, use your intuition, and really listen to that inner guidance in your life and in your business or in your career. And so that you can really discover your unique gifts and how to best put them out there. And so then so you have the human design reading, obviously. It's a 1 hour over Zoom, and you get the recording and the write-up. So I always like to go back to my design to remind myself who I really am, because the world, as I mentioned, the world will try to condition you and tell you how you need to be, which is not always aligned with your design. So the second thing you get after your human design reading is a 90-minute strategy session to kind of develop a plan, which is more for specifics, or maybe it's just the next aligned action, but just getting clear about what your desires are and the easiest path to achieving them. And kind of the 90-minute strategy session is for us to dive deeper into what you really want to create, and for us to kind of create a plan for working together. So the next thing is unlimited support over Voxer. So we connect every day in Voxer. It's a voice messaging app. Well, you can text message and send photos and whatever, but the main point is the voice messaging part, which is kind of like a walkie-talkie. It's really easy to use. So, you get really daily accountability, daily support and coaching, so that, we can stay connected every day. And yeah, you can also send gifts over Voxer. But yeah, I found it so valuable to because especially, when you have your human design reading, you're also, for a lot of people, it's the first time you're hearing this kind of vocabulary, and there's a lot you learn. So you really need that support in practicing living your design every day. And then, whatever else you need support around in your life, I'm there. So that's really a great feature, and I respond. You send me a message and I respond as soon as I can. And if you don't send me messages, I will check in with you to make sure we are connecting often. So, and the last, well, not really last thing, but you also get a 1 hour call every 2 weeks, and you can choose whether you want a 1 hour call every 2 weeks or a 30-minute call every week. So I offer some flexibility there. So those calls are to kind of deep dive into any challenges that we can address over Voxer, and really track your progress and celebrate your successes and your results. So, and you get so much more, meditations, journaling, visualizations, and other different processes and exercises that I use myself and with my other clients. And and we always want to start what you feel most excited about. So if you hate meditation or hate meditating, there are also so many different types of meditation. I'm a Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher, so I know that modality, but you have guided meditations and all that. So there's something for everyone. and we will help you find what works for you. Especially, and if you're consistent, we will design, a routine that works for you, and maybe it will, it'll be good for a while, and then it will change. For inconsistent, you don't need a routine as much. So this program is really designed for you to connect to your purpose and really start creating a career, a business, and a life that feels good and that provides you with more abundance while you actually do less, because it's about taking those aligned actions and doing things that bring you joy and are exciting to you, and that is better than taking a bunch of action just because you're scared that if you don't, you won't make any money, or you will just fail. So it's all about aligned action, doing less and making more money, and creating abundance really through just being you, through being in your authenticity, in your truth. And that also allows you to have more energy, because when you're doing a bunch of shit you don't want, the universe will drain you and redirect you, as we talked about, especially for manifesting generators, but for all of us. And this program will allow you to also connect to your intuition and learn to really trust yourself and trust that guidance coming from within, so that you're not, asking everyone what you should do and kind of, so it really helps you center within yourself and know what is the right next aligned action for you. So it also will help you just feel more permission to just be exactly as you are and love yourself and feel in tune with your body and feel more confident. So there's really a lot of good stuff inside Abundance with Ease. So if you are interested, you can either message me directly or leave a comment below saying you're interested in Abundance with Ease, and we can get on a call and see if we're a good fit for working together. So I'm really excited for you to be sharing your uniqueness with the world. And as I said, the replays are available till February 14th, and also the extra month of coaching is available till then. And I wanted to end with a quick meditation to kind of check in. And it's actually, it actually connects the first day, so your energy type, so your most important thing to master. So we're gonna, so if you want to learn more about energy types, you can go back to day 1, obviously. But we're just gonna quickly center ourselves, close our eyes, and become present in our bodies, feeling the temperature, feeling our skin, just feeling what it feels like to be in our body right now. Feeling our feet on the earth, feeling grounded in our bodies, and breathing, focusing on our breathing, inhaling deeply into the belly, expanding the ribs and expanding the chest, and exhaling from the chest, ribs, and pulling in your navel towards your spine. Again, just becoming really present in this moment, feeling the sweetness of being alive and being in your body. And now I'd like you to check in how much you're living according to your energy type. So for manifesting generators, are you feeling more satisfied in your life, or are you experiencing frustration? And for manifestors, do you feel more peaceful, or do you feel that anger, that irritation? if you're a projector, do you feel like you are being successful? Is success coming easily to you, or are you experiencing that bitterness? Feeling like no one's getting you or people are doing it wrong. And as a reflector, are you feeling that surprise, that delight, or are you feeling disappointed in life? And now checking in with how much you're living according to your strategy. So for manifesting generators and generators, are you allowing yourself to respond to life? Are you allowing yourself to feel that excitement before you act? Or are you trying to initiate out of a fear that nothing will happen if you don't? And for manifestors, if you're a manifester, are you allowing yourself to be really big and to inform people what you're about? Or are you keeping yourself small and trying to please everyone? And as a projector, are you waiting to be invited before you share your wisdom with others? Are you conserving your energy before sharing your genius? And as a reflector, are you allowing yourself to wait a full lunar cycle, the 28 days from new moon to new moon, for big decisions in your life? Or are you rushing to make a decision because you think you need to do that, or you need to decide more quickly than that? And now feeling into any other messages that are coming through from your soul, that authenticity underneath all the layers of programming or of conditioning. Anything your soul is trying to communicate, allow it to come through. And if nothing comes through, that's okay. Just feel into the peace of that. And slowly you can open your eyes. So this is also a really great journaling exercise to connect how much you're living according to your energy type, which again is the most important part of your design. So thank you so much for joining. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments or in the group. If you want to know more about Abundance with Ease, comment that you're interested in Abundance with Ease. And again, the replays and the extra month of coaching are available till February 14th. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else. Thank you so much for joining me. I know this was a little longer than I planned, but thank you for being here, and sending you so much love, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.